from a shadow.
Big dog, gotta eat like I'm Rick Ross. When you lost, you a sheep, man, I'm Big Sean. Finally famous, a machine.
Hey guys, this is part 3 of the GTO build. Spent a lot of time blocking this car. It's a lot worse than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a quick job. I thought the car was pretty straight, but it's really not. I spent about 12 hours now in total. Just hand sanding a block here. I don't know what size it is, but I mean, the door was really bad. You can see all this little pitting right here. It was showing through. There was no way a high build primer was gonna cover all that, so I had to go from here to right about here is nothing but putty. Bottom is too. It still needs blocked more. There's a little high spot right there. I'm gonna try to fix with body hammer. There's a little bit of low spots, but other than that, I mean, quarter right here. Maybe there was a dent because it is tin canning pretty bad. I'm gonna try and massage the metal out and so it doesn't keep doing that. Then this Idera glass, because there's rust. Yeah, this was pretty bad. It was all cracked. You can see someone put putty down but didn't put it on right. And there was a little dent right here I didn't see before. I had a little bit of trouble with that because it was so deep, and I had to pound it out from the trunk. There's a little bit right there too. The trunk lid's pretty straight, which is fortunate. Because it's such a big trunk, you can see a putty pretty easy. Right here is the lead line. When we put that roof on, it's most of these 60s cars have it. This demon right here, you can see it. Someone didn't paint it right, but you can see the lead line in there. Pretty noticeable, especially for a new paint job. So I went and puttied where the spots you can see it. It's just one of the small things that make it look a lot better. There's a little dents right here, and you know, here too. But on this side, the hood's actually really good. So then last night I got these two pieces on. Holds the grill together. I scuffed those down. I threw a layer of putty, primer to see where the low and high was. I used it more of a guide coat. Here, this side's actually decent. I don't want to use a DA on this side because I think that was my mistake on that side, carving into all that putty. So I'm just gonna 320 this side and fix whatever I see, but I'm really not seeing anything, which is really good. But I didn't finish it, but there is a little bit of this. Looks like spot welds, but it ain't really that big of a deal. Just grind those down. Put some putty over it. This is good. I found this. Gotta take these off. These are a pain to take off, but I got to. See it. The lead line isn't as bad on this side as the other side, which that's pretty common. It's a little dark over here, but bottom of the quarters are still solid. They have been redone. I can see the spot welds on the inside. There is new fenders on, so I don't have to worry about those. The hood is out of alignment, but I will do that when I have a new layer of putty, primer on it. Seems like it's a little high. It's a little tight on this side right here, you can see. The way I can get it straight is by pulling this side in and this side out to try to get this gap a little bit bigger. As you can see, it's wider on this side than it is on this side. So that'll fix everything, and it needs to come out a little bit, but it's just a tedious job. But it's definitely worth it to get good body lines. It really makes the car. Really, I mean, this is straight for being aftermarket fenders. I mean, you're gonna get that when you get newer parts like this. They're not gonna align exactly right, but you can get it pretty close. This side's a little right here, but I could probably move the door up. I always try to go by this chrome piece right here to see if the door is aligned or not. It looks like it actually is. The door does seem a little bit out, but ain't that big of a deal. It's pretty easy fix. Move it up a little bit. All I have to do is loosen the strike out and move it just a tad bit up. But if it needs more, the lower hinge right here, you can put shims and loosen the door up to bring it up a little more. Now the interior, I did have to take apart to get these panels off. Take these pieces off. Which this is actually a Le Mans, but they made it a GTO, so it still has the Le Mans, what do you call them, gills. The carpet's newer carpet. I'm gonna try to make it fit a little better while I have the seats out. Floor is really nice. Does have white interior. While the seats are out, they're in pretty bad shape, but there's nothing really I can do about that. And, I'm gonna try to get them all cleaned up. Try to bring the white back as best I can. I don't know about, but they'll be a lot better than what they are. Do that door panel too. Might as well do these too. But yeah, seats are kind of rough, but I mean, being white interior and being this old and sitting for so long, it really isn't that bad. There are some things missing on the interior, but we're really not worried about that too much. But yeah, I'm gonna block it some more and yeah, by blocking it. Take this. You kind of want a long one. Here, I'll show you guys. Here. Now this is a shorter one. This is more made for corners and just smaller panels to block, more of like this kind of stuff. But these longer ones are more made for a good bit of putty and a really flat spot on the sides. Because if your panels are not straight on the sides, it is so noticeable. And everybody will know your car's not straight, which you really don't want that. So I'm gonna continue blocking this. So when you see bare metal like this, that is a high spot, because if you see this block goes right here, it goes across, and you can see it hits this first. So when you're sanding it, it brings that to bare metal, but there's still putty right here, which is the low spot. And you can see there's a really low spot right here, and there's a high spot right here. Now, you don't see that by eye most of the time, but you will feel it. But with a really metallic paint, you're really gonna see it. It's gonna be really noticeable. And the car's gonna be really bright red, so it's gonna have a lot of metallic in it. So you're just trying to make it as perfectly straight as you possibly can. And really, that's all you can do. But yeah, it's just a really tedious thing to do, especially with all this putty, which I really don't like laying that much, but you really can't do nothing about it because it was just such bad shape. Yeah, so I'm gonna continue that and I'll get back to you guys. When you guys are doing blocking next to the body line right here, you don't want to ride on the body line because it will sand down super easy, and if this is uneven, you're really gonna see it. So I always take the block and go up with it, okay? Which would be on this flat spot on the panel. And you keep working at that. Then when you get this flat right here, you want to work up here and do the same thing opposite direction. That'll give this body line a sharper edge like the rest of it. It won't round it down. Especially when you have putty right here, you want it to look like the factory body line, so you don't actually see it. Which it is hard to do. I mean, you ain't gonna get it right away. It takes years of experience to actually get it right, but it's what it takes to make a car. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about. When you're trying to make a panel straight, the easiest way is take the palm of your hand and slide across it. You will feel every high and low spot with the palm of your hand, like this. I see some people do this, but you can't really feel it that way. You gotta take your whole hand and go the whole ways across. And when you're doing this stuff, you want as much light as you possibly can, because it's really nice to look completely down and then you can see where it needs to be done. Without a light like that, it's really hard to see, but you could do it. But I mean, all I have is a snap-on light gun strapped to the for the garage door, and then I just have a stand-up lamp with the cover took off right here. So I'm just starting out with Bodywork, so I don't have all the fancy stuff, but it does work though. And when you're doing tape jobs, make sure your tape is nice and pushed down, because it can actually go up in, surprisingly. And when you are doing this just to cover up, so you don't scratch the chrome, make sure you always take this back off before you paint it, because it'll actually hold all this dust, and when you go past it with a gun, it's gonna blow all that over your paint and you're screwed. So just make sure your tape job is decent, because that'll screw you over so bad. It has happened to me before. I had overspray all over the windows and stuff, and you gotta take a razor blade and you gotta scrape at it. It does happen though, but try to block this some more, and we'll see from there. I might have to lay some more putty, unfortunately, right here, but I might be able to try to get it out. So I did get it out, and there's just a lot of blocking. As you can see, it's pretty high right there. I mean, I don't feel it, but I can see it though. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna see it when I lay the new primer on. Not sure yet. That's another thing is too, when you put your first layer of primer down, you always look over it completely to make sure it's straight, because you'll see a lot more with the primer on. That's why I always try to go with high build, because you can actually work with it. Just bring 320 over it, then you can see what's high and low. And high build will take care of a lot of these little pitting areas like that and stuff. It'll fill that in. I do 2 wet coats of buildable primer. Some people think that's a little much, but it's pretty easy to sand down, so might as well, more is good. So yeah, I'm gonna keep working at this and see where we go.